What is happening, everybody? Welcome. Today is Monday, June 6th, 2022. My name's Jeremy, and this is my first cup. Oh, I feel like the angle on the camera's wrong. Let's fix that. It's a little bit more whiskey than we want. There we go. That's where we're going. Good morning to Stacy. Good morning to Jenny, and all the rest of you, whether you're watching live later or listening. Thanks for coming by. It's my birthday week. My birthday is Wednesday. As far as I know, we're having a show. I reserve the right to call an audible on that in case I get into some mischief on Tuesday night. Not expecting it. Mischief tends to be a weekend thing, but who knows? And since I've cleared the rest of my calendar for Wednesday, I might, looking like not, but I might not be doing a show on Wednesday. Good morning also to Brian and to Dennis. I hope you all had a good weekend. I want to know what you did. I'll tell you what I did in one word. Gardening. I worked in the gardens a good portion of Saturday, a huge portion of Sunday, as in all day. When did I get out? I was out working on, I was building in the garage, building raised beds, starting in a little bit after 8, and I finished up a little bit after 6. I put in all the lumber I bought has been turned into raised beds. It's going great. I might buy some more lumber. Dennis says, my stepson's birthday is Wednesday too. That's cool. And condolences to your family on the loss of the little critter there. That guy was cool. Good morning, Mark. Good morning, John. Jenny says, love that you celebrate for a week. Happy birthday week. Thank you. You know, I spent a lot of time kind of ignoring my birthday, working on my birthday, pretending it wasn't a big day. In the grand scheme, it's really not. It's just another day. But I grew up, birthdays were not a big deal. And the first party of any substance that happened for me was last year. Here, I threw it myself. Had like 30 people. It was nice. But I planned it 6 months in advance and put a bunch of time and money into it. And people that I had hoped would come did not. And then people that was like, oh, you want to come to my birthday? Okay. And it really threw me for a loop. Now, I'm not going to do that again. If the weather goes the way it's scheduled to, I'm probably going to hike. That's been a tradition on my birthday for years. I did not get to go last year because why didn't I go on my birthday? I forget. There was a reason. But I did hike like the next weekend. So yeah, so my birthday. I purchased for myself. I bought myself some gifts already. I don't know, are they gifts? I bought myself stuff. I always bought myself stuff, but I bought I bought myself some things at the store, the gun store, that we're not going to talk about because I don't know. Who knows what happens with specific words on things like that. So I want to share this because I got to meet this little guy. Dennis says, our bearded dragon Ego passed on Friday. Yeah. When I was at Dennis's house when we went to New York City. And I got to meet that little guy, and had a lot of personality. I've known a few bearded dragons, and this one had a ton of personality. So it was really cool, but really sad. Stacy says, my weekend had a little garden care, household stuff, finished my 1,000 cranes for a friend, and started the next mini crane lamp. Mini crane lamp. I want to know more about that. So what I'm looking at now, garden-wise, almost everything is planted. I've got some stuff in the greenhouse that has to be put outside for a couple days to harden off. That will be planted probably Thursday. I've got some seeds I got to get into some dirt, carrots and beets and things like that. But it's amazing. I expect, when I planned everything out, I was like, oh, I'll have tons of room to plant everything I want. No. I could always use another 6 beds. And again, we'll probably buy more lumber because I have more room, and I will probably build more beds. Because that's the beauty of doing this stuff. You do it once, makes the rest of your life much easier. Also spent some time with a friend, did some work on the Jeep. So the doors come off now. You could not take them off. Didn't matter how hard you pulled. Those were not coming off. They come off now. What else? Friday. What was Friday? I don't even remember Friday anymore. Work. Kind of like today. Today is jam-packed with meetings. I've got a bunch of meetings. It's just all meetings all day. Once we're done here, I'm going to hit my desk. There's a presentation I'm giving next Wednesday that I'm chipping away at, and I'm working on the outline right now. Outline becomes PowerPoint, becomes 3 hours of conversation on a subject. Yeah, I like giving presentations. Is that true? I like talking about the subject. It's on the subject of productivity and remaining efficient regardless of what device you have. Oh, coffee came out good this morning. Now it's Monday, which means we have an episode of Martial Arts Radio. Let's see. Who did we talk to? Who was up today? Let's look into Dropbox. Podcast, episodes, current. Is today Eric? I think today's Eric. I want to double check because I'm really excited about that if that's the case. If it is Eric, some of you met him. Yeah. Eric Kanto. So those of you who attended Free Training Day, you were at least around for the session with Andy Rodriguez and Eric Kanto. And today is my conversation with Eric. Had a lot of fun. And I got to be honest, this guy had some stuff early on. And I really appreciated how do I want to say this? The spirit? That's not the best way to put it. There were some transitions between martial arts as he moved around and an evolving philosophy to training that I really liked. This is someone that if you said, in a few years, he's got 8-10 years on me. In 10 years, you're going to be philosophically very much this person. I would say that's great. I hope to be there. Good guy, good conversation. If you had a chance to work with him, I think you'll enjoy this episode even more. So check it out. Jenny's weekend says she trained on Saturday. Family dinner at my dad's yesterday to celebrate Mason's 18th birthday, Tandem's 14th birthday, and Mason's high school graduation. This week we'll have balcony garden activities and tons of self-care. Nice. I graduated high school on my 18th birthday and kind of got screwed over on the gift stuff. People gave me gifts. And some of them took the time to have two separate cards and put half the money that they might have normally given me into one and the other half in the other. Now, don't get me wrong, I was grateful, but it just felt it was frustrating because friends would tell me, oh, made all this money for graduation and I made half as much because I got half for my birthday. It was also one of the most boring speeches ever, my high school graduation. Stephen King's wife, absolutely terrible. Probably, yeah, got to be one of the worst speeches I've ever heard in my life. What happened after? I don't even remember what happened after graduation. I think I just went home. I wasn't invited to parties very often back then. Well, I'm not really invited to parties very often now. That's okay. I've got my coffee and I've got all of you. Yeah, today will be a busy day. I've got a firearms lesson this evening. Today will be a busy day just because the sheer number of meetings and then the fact that I'm taking Wednesday off. Andrew's coming up. We're recording tomorrow. Then we're going to go to lunch. And that I'm using that as like my stop point for work, which means I've got stuff that I have to do today that I need for Thursday. And that's a weird feeling. I don't like that. But do what you got to do, right? So Stacy says, it's like having a birthday just after Christmas. Yeah, I've known people that have had birthdays on the 24th or even the 25th, and they're like, meh. What I know some families did that worked really well is they, instead of celebrating the kid's birthday, they celebrated their half birthday. That made way more sense. They're like, you know what? It's one thing when your birthday falls on graduation. That's it. I get it. It's kind of selfish. And you're like, oh, I wanted more presents. But Christmas is always going to overshadow some kid's birthday. Have that birthday 6 months off. That makes sense. Stacey says, and I'm impressed. Stacey knows her name. Tabitha King is a speaker. Surprised she wasn't filled with all sorts of stories. She's an author herself. She was filled with stories. She just couldn't tell them well. Seriously, it was awful. Have you ever been in a setting where 500 people collectively zoned out? That's what this was. We're all just like, and then the most entertaining part of it, we're all there, maybe halfway, a little over halfway. I don't know. Time was irrelevant. And she's up at the podium. And we somehow all click back in to hear these words. She says, smoke a bowl. And we all went, what? And we're all like, did she just say smoke a bowl? She did. And now we're listening intently because what is happening? She was right back to her boring story. She said that to wake us up. Yeah. Jenny says, of course Stacy knows her name. If anyone here did, I would bet that it would be Stacy. Book lovers unite. Right on. Oh, hold on. Show and tell. Be right back. 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 I don't know if you can still hear me. Be right back. Be right back. I promise. I promise. I promise. I'm coming back now. Almost there. Almost there. I'm back. So I mentioned online on previous episodes that we put out some shoes. So we did, we took the design as the designer gave it to me for the high top and the low top canvas shoes. Think Converse Chuck Taylors. And Jenny says, I love it when Jeremy continues to yell from the other room. Well, on the off chance somebody comes in to the show at that moment I'm like, what's going on? This is a show broadcasting somebody's couch. Stacy says, nerd alert and former bookstore manager. So we've got those shoes up there, and they're great. They're cool. The company we use for printing also offered a slip-on, and I went, I wanted a pair, but I didn't want 3 shoes of the exact same design up there. Short version, the way we've got the design, we can do an undertone. I did an undertone. I did a black undertone. So if you're looking at this, you are seeing another pair of shoes. They slip on. Now, I wouldn't say these are the best thing for training. There's a fairly thick sole. I don't love that, but in the world of mass-produced shoes, this is just about every shoe. But they're comfortable, and you don't have to tie them. So those are up there. Check them out. We will do other colors as we go on. I expect that shoe design to remain for a little while. I don't think we even put an expiration date on those yet. Is the tank top up there? I don't even know if the tank top's up there. I don't think the tank top's up there. I'll have to make that happen. I've washed it. I've worn it. It's fine. It's solid. Ready to go. Good morning, Gad. Gad says, bit late, just got back from a stroll with Sunny. Still wanted to say hi to my whistlekick family. Well, glad that you did. Gad, you went to a Taekwondo class for the first time in a while last week. How did that go? Jenny says, not great for training, but you could kick them off quickly to defend yourself barefoot. You could. What's that line from Billy Jack? Watch out if he tries to take his shoes off. Yeah, something like that. All right. Frank sent over some stuff for us, and I want to talk about it because it has to do with probably the 4th most influential author on my life of all time. I think so. I do. So many of you who have paid attention to the show for a while know my affinity for the book Zen in the Martial Arts, written by Joe Hyams. And while Mr. Hyams has passed away, today is still his birthday. So we're going to kind of celebrate him, talk about him. He's the author of the classic Zen in the Martial Arts. For me, the most powerful, important martial arts book of all time. The one that I look to as inspiration when I wrote Martial Artist Handbook. I am not saying they are on the same level, but if you know both books, you will see some similarities. If he were still alive today, would have been his 99th birthday. I am, quote unquote, friends with Mr. Hyams on Facebook. His wife runs the account. Once in a while, she'll post something. It wouldn't surprise me if she posts something today for his birthday. Always remember, in life as well as on the mat, an unfocused or loose mind wastes energy. If you haven't read this book, where is it? It's got to be right over here. Let me grab it. I want to show you how powerful this little book is. Maybe I've given it this. No, here it is. All right. It's not a big book. It's not a big book. And if you look at the formatting in it, you've got pictures all over the place. You've got a ton of margin. It is, you've got quotes and things in here. It is the ultimate bathroom book for a martial artist. It's a fantastic gift. And the stuff in here is timeless. There's conversations. He knew Bruce Lee. Like, he and Bruce Lee, like, hung out. Wasn't like he met him once. Jenny says, great book. I have my copy close by, but me waving the book at my phone does the audience little to no good at the moment. That's true, but we believe you. Jenny and I are having a conversation about books this morning. Next, only after several years of training did I come to realize that the deepest purpose of the martial arts is to serve as a vehicle for personal spiritual development. So if you've ever wondered, hey, Jeremy, you've got some beliefs about what martial arts is that are not always commonly shared in our world. Where did they come from? Probably this book. There's a very good chance, because remember, I started reading this book at like 6. And if I didn't have the energy to read a whole chapter, I would read like one of these little sayings here. To know and to act are one and the same. Things like that. We did an episode on this book. 47? Something like that. I believe it was really early. And I read a section that I really loved, and YouTube was like, you can't do that. You can't read part of a book. Okay, YouTube, fine. Nobody was going to not buy the book because I read that section. And lastly, a man who has attained mastery of an art reveals it in his every action. Such a great book. Jenny says, we're talking about books and tours. Yes, we're still adding dates. We're adding dates on to the Phoenix Rising tour. If you want me to come hang out, just let me know. So Gad answered my question. Thanks for asking. It was a very nice school. Got the impression that they are in it for the martial art and not only competition. Class was all about Halsen Sul, self-defense, which happens to be my favorite part of Taekwondo. Forms come a close second. Still have 2 trial lessons to go, but I feel it's a good fit. That's awesome. I was really nervous for you because it had been a while and you were excited. And, sometimes we set the bar a little high with that. For those of you who have kind of been paying attention to my journey, I'm back to square one on opening a school. The space that I was hoping was going to work out, they wanted too much money. I thought from our early conversation, like, this is what I'm trying to do. This is my pricing. This is the expectations. And they're like, how about $50 an hour? And I was like, no, that's not going to work. That's $400 to $500 a month for a space with a bare concrete floor and porta potties. You're insane. No. So I would rather spend $1,500 to have a space permanently than $500 a month for. So I'm looking again. Fingers crossed. Maybe it won't happen this summer. I don't know. Maybe we can get something going for fall. But I've learned professionally, really with anything that I do, when I force it, it doesn't work out. You've gotta find the right place at the right time. I will find the right place. If I lived in a slightly different location, I could do it here, but I do not, so I cannot. Coffee is good. Well, I think that takes us to the end. You guys didn't really like my question about martial arts uniforms. If there's been martial arts uniforms that you've loved, Dennis chimed in and said he loves a Superfoot uniform. Nobody else really had a thought. I've got a whole closet of uniforms. Most of them are gis. Some are doboks. And there is a pair of pants in there from my competitive days. So though that was 15, 16 years old, my mother and I still argue about it. She's like, can I have the pants? Nope. And she could ask it in that way. You gonna let me have the pants? Nope. So I'm turning 43. So that gives you an idea of how long those pants. And those pants were not new when we got them. So those pants are 35 years old. Someday I will hire someone to make those pants again. That's why I'm holding on to them. Actually, I think last time I competed in them, which was 2016. So 6 years. I competed 6 years ago and I still wore them. They're great pants. Have a wonderful day. I will see you back here tomorrow. So Andrew and I are going to start recording 9:30-ish. So in that 9:30 to noon, 10 to noon block, we will likely do another Q&A episode. So stay tuned. We will probably go live. If you have the opportunity, we'd love for you to join us. If you want to help us out, remember, you got a few things you can do. You can buy something at whistlekick.com. Use the code FirstCup15, mug, hoodie, swag pack. I got a new box of things to go into the swag packs. They're sitting over there. So if you've ordered one, you might want to order a new one. And that's something that we're going to keep doing. It's an excuse for me to buy short runs of stickers and I don't know what else is flat, patches, magnets, keychains, temporary tattoos, fun stuff, right? If you want to help us out with something, some of you help out with things. If you want to help out, just say the word. And of course, whistlekick.com/family for the whole list. I updated it last week. My schedule keeps trying to make me do it twice a week, and I don't know why. It's being weird. And remember, we do the show every weekday, 6:30 a.m. U.S. Eastern Time. On Facebook, on YouTube, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we're on Twitter. Tuesdays and Thursdays, we're on Twitch. But I got to say, based on what the numbers are showing me, and I'm noodling with this, we may just go Facebook, YouTube, Twitch. I don't see much in the way of engagement on Twitter. And I think we've crossed over that Twitch has more engagement. So I'm contemplating that. If anybody has thoughts, you can tell me. Everybody have a great day. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you tomorrow. Go check out that episode with Eric Kanto. Tell me what you think. Be well. Peace. Oh, yeah. I was digging in dirt and cut myself on a piece of glass that somebody left in the soil. Jerks.